I'm as upset about the female Silver Surfer as much as everyone else is right now. I think it's a stupid idea. However, after doing a bit of research, I'm a little bit more forgiving of it, but I'm not too entirely sure. But you know, I still don't like it, but, you know, a little. There's a reason why I say a little. Because, like, you know, it's based off a comic storyline. So yeah, this Silver Surfer is going to be Shella Ball, who in the comics is the love interest of Silver Surfer, and in an alternate reality becomes Silver Surfer. And so yeah, you know, I would have preferred if they'd gone with Norrin Rad. I'm not saying I'm fine with it because it's this multiverse excuse bullcrap, because if you really think about it, why would they choose Fantastic Four to be a movie about the multiverse when pretty much everything else, not all of it, but most of the movies in the multiverse saga aren't even themed around the multiverse? Let's see, Falcon the Winter Soldier, not multiverse. She-Hulk, not multiverse. Moon Knight, not multiverse. Shang-Chi, not multiverse. Eternals, not multiverse. It's mostly Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and the Marvels that's mostly themed around the multiverse. You know, stuff like that. I am on board with making the MCU Fantastic Four movie take place in a different universe because, you know, the Fantastic Four has such a big world that, you know, you can make that as your excuse to not cram everything into the already existing Marvel Cinematic Universe. Honestly, after Endgame and after, let's say, Endgame, No Way Home, and Guardians 3, you should have just rebooted everything. You should have just started a brand new universe. And, you know, with Fantastic Four, you could do a lot of things. Like, you can make a comic book accurate alternate version of Namor. You could bring back T'Challa for this alternate universe, which, let's be honest, them not having the Fantastic Four team up with T'Challa, Black Panther, is the biggest missed opportunity. Like, you know, Fox was originally planning that with Tim's story, but they decided not to because, you know, they decided to reboot the franchise and make that shitty Dark and Gritty remake. But, yeah. And then, of course, Chadwick Boseman passed away, so you can't really do that. And, you know, again, you could just add more characters without having to cram in everything else into this already existing Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, that's why I'm all for, say, Fantastic Four and X-Men having their own universes, rather than, you know, just being in the same already existing MCU, because realistically, you can't really retcon mutants into the MCU, like, you know. But, yeah, so, back to Galactus and Silver Surfer, so in the comics that I never heard of, I still never read, and let's be honest, you, as a comic book nerd viewer yourself, you have not read every Marvel comic either. You know, that's a confession that us comic book fans are scared to make because, you know, of the stereotype that you're not a true fan if you haven't seen this or that. Especially to those like John Campea or John Rocha. Is that how you say his name? John Rocha? You know, they call us sexist. They call people like me sexist because they claim to be so holier than thou. But, yeah, so yeah, I never read the Earth X storyline, so it looks like in that alternate reality, Franklin Richards is Galactus, and Shalla Ball is his herald. And I'm still kind of not on for this. Now, from the start of this casting, I knew we were going to get Norrin Rad after this movie in the first place. But, dude, why are you mad still? I'm mad because you're adapting The Coming of Galactus, and you are making a Fantastic Four movie about Silver Surfer and Galactus without Silver Surfer and Galactus. I don't want to see Franklin Richards as Galactus. I don't care if he's a good character in the comics. I want to see Galen. Like, Galen in the comics, you know, that's the original. That's the Galactus you're seeing before you right now, his real name. Like, Galactus, Galen, like, his story is really good, you know. He's not just a planet eater. His story is that, you know, he originated from a universe that predates ours, and because of the Big Crunch, which was a conspiracy theory made by another crack-smoking scientist, Illuminati person, whatever, you know, who thinks that humans are a descendant of bananas or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why schools trust those people, but anyway, so yeah, you know, Galen tries to stop the new Big Bang with his ship, but the Big Bang happens anyway with him inside it, and then he becomes an egg and hatches out into Galactus. Yeah, it's a really good story. And, you know, Like, Franklin Richards, I could see where you're going with, because this could obviously be a time travel story where Franklin Richards comes back from the past. And according to rumors, this is gonna, Sue Storm is gonna be pregnant with Franklin Richards in this movie. You know, because of that plot point, I kind of have hope that they're dropping the toxic Reed Richards storyline, but then again, you know, Spider-Verse recently did Pregnant Spider-Woman, which I thought was really stupid, but hey, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they continued with that, like, pregnant female superhero, women's rights. Now, we must destroy the patriarchy! So yeah. But, so for the emotional factor of it, I could see it working, but at the same time, you know, I could also see why that they're doing this, because, like, you know, they want Javier Bardem as Galactus, which is not bad casting, you know, Franklin Richards or not, and it kind of makes sense because, because Pedro Pascal and Javier Bardem are Latino actors, and, you know, I think that would make sense if you went with something like that. But at the same time, you know, I'd rather have Franklin Richards, like, you know, he doesn't discover his powers until Tweenhood, and the next thing you know, he's gonna become the fire god Liu Kang of the MCU, you know? That's what I prefer them to do. I mean, I'm not saying that they aren't gonna do that, like, you know, of course they're gonna... I do think they're gonna bring in Norrin Rad, they're gonna bring in Galen after this movie, but the reason why I'm still mad is because, so yeah, Marvel, I have the Marvel Unlimited app. I know I kind of hate Disney right now, so I don't remember if it's a monthly subscription for Marvel Unlimited, but, you know, if you're desperate to read comic books and you can't find anything at your local store, just buy Marvel Unlimited, even though I prefer the physical copies, because they're better to read than just your fucking phone. But, yeah. Anyway, back to Norrin Rad and Galen. So, this is my theory at least. They're gonna make Galactus the villain of Avengers 5, because Avengers 5 is no longer the Kang Dynasty, and it makes sense because Galactus is a lot more iconic than Kang. I mean, I still think it's a stupid idea, like, sidelining Kang. Oh, we were always going to, sideline Kang. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Sure you were, Marvel. You were hyping him up like he was gonna be the next big bad. You dedicated an entire movie to him, and the next thing you know, oh, Jonathan Majors got into his controversy. We're gonna do Doctor Doom instead, which I like Doctor Doom, of course, but you know what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, you know, the reason why I'm mad is because, like, you know, let's just say in Avengers 5, of course the Fantastic Four are gonna be in that movie. Of course the Fantastic Four are gonna come into our universe, you know. I say our universe because 616, well, it's not really 616, it's Earth 1999999999999. Sorry. 199999999. Sorry, I'll stop being stupid. But, like, you know, oh, again, so you advertise, you had a link to your official website, and the Coming of Galactus storyline is free to read. And, you know, again, you're doing the Coming of Galactus story without the real Silver Surfer, and without the real Galactus, and you're also making Avengers 5. Keep in mind, I'm in theory territory right now. This has not been officially rumored. I think I might be the first one to theory this, but I don't know. Be honest, viewer, you love it when you're the first, don't you? Don't you? You love it when you pat yourselves on the back. Don't be mad at you because you're selfish. We're all like that once in our lives. But anyway, hey, and then you put in a comic book accurate Galactus, and the next thing you know, in this new Avengers movie, you're gonna have the Fantastic Four talk about, we faced a Silver Surfer before, we faced a Galactus before. Like, you're basically suffering, like, I wouldn't say a similar effect from, like, what Marvel's been suffering as of late, but you're just cramming in story after story. You know, stuff like that. You're just cramming in so many things. It's like, oh, we know you're not gonna like this incarnation of Silver Surfer. Sorry if you heard that. Oh, we're not gonna adapt this incarnation of Silver Surfer and Galactus. Like, we know you don't like that, so we'll do it later, and we'll do it in this Fantastic Four movie. Again. And then, like, next thing you know, they talk about their grief about their son being Galactus, even though this is a different Galactus. They're about to fight with the Avengers, and, like, their Silver Surfer had tits and a vagina, and instead this one has abs and a penis, but, yeah. But, so yeah, you're basically kind of suffering the same effect that you've been doing before, like, you know, you being required to watch this or that movie, like, you know, before you can watch this, and not to mention you're cramming in story after story after story with this type of story, and it's like, story, but yeah. So yeah, you know, you're doing a less popular version of those two characters and doing the more popular, recognizable version in another movie, and the Fantastic Four have to fight them again. You know, stuff like that. Not even any film from the Infinity Saga did this. The closest thing they ever did was Loki, but not in Loki. Like Avengers with Loki, but you know, it made sense because it was a continuation and that was the same Loki from Thor, the first Thor movie. And, you know, Loki was working with somebody else to get the Infinity Stones. Thanos. But, yeah. I also want to talk about another rumor real quick. Apparently, the plot is that, like, you know, their universe, the Fantastic Four's universe is about to collapse. And the next thing you know, you got Galactus, and, like, Reed is trying to stop it, which, no. A story like that is not fit for the MCU's first, you know, who know. A story like that is not fit for the MCU's first Fantastic Four movie. That's more of their third, or fourth, or fifth, or whatever, how many you want to make. That's more of a Avengers Endgame style threat for the Fantastic Four. You know? Oh, so yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think that rumor is true, but if they go forward with it, it's probably gonna be a mess, because again, that's like making Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and you're doing the High Evolutionary story in the first movie, and like, you know, Gamora in the first movie, like Guardians 3 basically being the first movie, that's kind of the scenario. So yeah, you know, I kind of agree with Nerdrotic that you should make a adaptation of the first ever issue of Fantastic Four, but I don't agree with him on like keeping the origin or not putting Franklin Richards in, because I'm actually in support of not doing the origin and making things differ from the previous origin story Fantastic Four movies. But let's be honest, you know, Fan Four Stick, that was not even a Fantastic Four movie. That was a science fiction documentary that was turned into a Fantastic Four script. That was honestly what it felt like. But yeah, you know, I have better hopes for this movie because of that reason alone. I still think the decision to make Silver Surfer a woman was woke. I still think that. I don't think a project is doom and gloom when they cast Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. It's stupid. Everyone's getting race bent now. He doesn't even look like Reed Richards. Fucking Matt Smith. A lot of people didn't like Matt Smith as Reed Richards for some reason. I thought that would have been great casting, but because, you know, he played Doctor Who and he actually looks like the character. But yeah, so yeah, you know, but then again, we had those rumors about Sue feeling like she's held back by the men, and she's in an up and down toxic relationship with Reed. The rumor also stated that she was going to be in a love triangle between The Thing and Reed Richards, which, no. It's not because I hate love triangle storylines, it's just stupid, it's unnecessary. And not to mention, I also don't like love triangle storylines that much, they're just stupid. I like romance if done right, but, you know, I'm not too crazy on romance. One, because I'm not a woman, nor am I a hell of a Boss fan, but yeah, so yeah. So like I said, I have kind of better hopes for this movie, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions saying it's not woke, it's not, all the rumors are false, they're just going forward with the female Silver Surfer for whatever fucking reason. But yeah, you know. But even if they do go with this storyline, again, you're adapting Coming of Galactus without Galactus and Silver Surfer. You're doing it with two knockoff versions of those characters. Like, you know, if the movie's well written, like, you know, if you decide to drop all the woke stuff and just keep female Silver Surfer and Javier Bardem's Galactus, again, that's perfect casting, but kind of wasted. Which, quick question, if they were to bring Galactus into the main MCU, would they keep Javier Bardem, or would they recast him? I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, they probably won't, because Javier Bardem is supposed to be, Franklin Richards, but yeah. Who knows, maybe we could get a white Galen. I mean, I don't really care about the race of Galactus, he's one of those characters that I'm like, eh. But yeah. So I'm a little bit calmed down now after doing my research, Franklin Richards Galactus and Shella Ball Silver Surfer as his herald, but that doesn't mean I'm in support of it still. Again, if you're doing a Fantastic Four movie, and you're adapting Coming of Galactus, or you're adapting any comic, I want to see Norrin Radd, and I want to see Galen. Does Galen have a last name in the comics? Galactus? That's his real name, by the way, Galen. Does he have a last name? It's probably Galen Tickus. That's stupid. Anyway, take care, everyone.